Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Katie. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today I'm here to share something that's a little bit different than what I've posted in the past, and I've actually decided to talk a little bit about running, and I wanted to start with my running story, how I began running, what I'm currently doing now, and what's to come. The day I'm posting this, it is global or international, I don't know what they call it, but I think right now it's called Global Running Day, and it's celebrated, I believe, the first Wednesday of every June. So I figured this was the best day to post this, and I hope you enjoy. So I have been active in sports pretty much my entire life, for as long as I can remember. I've always been doing some sort of sport. When I was younger, I played soccer and volleyball and basketball. And I did some track, and in high school, my first 2 years, I did volleyball, basketball, track, all, each year. And then my junior and senior year, I decided to focus on track. And then my junior year, I was on the cross country team. And I had my reasons for no longer playing basketball and volleyball. That's a whole other story, but I really wanted to focus my attention on track. But I was actually not a runner, I was a thrower. I did the discus and shot put, and I made it my goal after my sophomore year to be the first person in my high school to make it to a state championship meet. I went to a new high school as the first graduating class, and we were eligible to go to state competition after a 2-year waiting period. So I really buckled down. I focused on discus and shot put. My junior year, I made it to state for the discus, and my senior year, I made it for discus and shot put, and actually did pretty well. But if you guys are interested in a story about my days as a thrower, let me know. But I did kind of run in my junior year. It's sort of where my journey, I suppose, begins. But I sort of ran my junior year. Like I mentioned, I did cross country, and I was the absolute worst on my team. I was very good at sprints because I played volleyball, basketball. I had that really quick high turnover, but for more distance running, I didn't really have that. So I was pretty bad. I'm not going to go into times or anything because I think it is all relative, but I wasn't that great. And I, felt kind of bad about it. I was always very good at sports, but I just wasn't something I thought I was very good at. But I did improve every week at every meet, and I think I shaved off like 5 or 6 minutes in the 5K distance over the course of the season, which was pretty good. So yeah, so that was it. I decided I was not going to do I was not going to do cross country my senior year. I was only gonna focus on track, and it paid off. So flash forward to 2010, it is the summer after my sophomore year of college, and I decided that I needed to lose some weight. Now, to be perfectly honest, I really didn't need to lose weight, but I thought I did. So I decided, let's start running. And I kind of got into the gym here and there my freshman, sophomore year, but I definitely wasn't as active as I was during high school. So I was like, okay, let me get back, let me get into shape, and let me start running. And I decided that it'd be fantastic to start running in late May, early June of 2010, and I decided to start running in the middle of the day. Now, if you know anything about Florida, I went to school in Florida. If you know anything about Florida in the summer, or pretty much any time from late February, early March until like November, it's hot. And it was very, very, very hot. And it took me a couple times of I'd run for a couple days, and I'd take like a week or 2 off, and then I'd run a couple days and take another week off to actually finally get into a routine. So I really started to get into a routine. I'd run like maybe 2-3 miles a few days a week, and You know, I wasn't going very fast, but I was committing to it. And then I decided, so I ran, did a couple 5Ks here and there, but then I decided in October, I believe, to sign up for my first half marathon. I had not ran further than 4 miles. And I was like, you know, let's do a half marathon. I was reading blogs at the time. A few different healthy living bloggers have been doing half marathons and full marathons. So I was like, let me do a half. And this is where the Disney tie-in is. I decided to do the Walt Disney half marathon in January. So January 2011. And I trained for this race, and I did pretty well. You know, I got injured a little bit during training because I kind of overdid it a little bit, but I did pretty well. I broke the 2-hour mark, which I didn't know was a big milestone for runners at the time. And people were like, oh, what's your time? I'd be like, oh, you know, I did this. And they'll be like, wow, you broke 2 hours. That's great. And I didn't know any better. So, yeah, so that was my first one. And then I was planning on doing another half marathon in February and a third in April, but I got a little like over enthused and actually ended up getting injured. I had basically I didn't take enough time in between the January race to training for February, and again, being a newer runner, your body's adapting and everything. So I got injured. I ended up having a shin splint, which I ignored for a long time, and actually ended up turning into a slight stress fracture. So I was in physical therapy and all that, and I'm no stranger to the PT. I've been in physical therapy pretty much on and off since high school for various injuries. It just happens. But yes, so I was in physical therapy, and then during PT I was like, you know what, I really want to train for a marathon. So as soon as I get over this injury, I'm gonna do a marathon. I signed up for a Chicago Marathon to run that in October 2011, and you might see where this is going. So I got better, and then I started training, and then I got injured again with another stress fracture. So the first one was in late January, early February, and the second one was in July of that same year. So I was out for another like 3-4 months, and then I did something stupid, and I ended up running a half marathon that November of 2011, and in Savannah, which it was not a great race in terms of like race management, but I ended up running that on like 3 weeks after coming back from running. And yeah, it wasn't smart, but I did it, and I survived, and I did not get injured again, for at least for a while. It really wasn't that smart when I first started running. So yeah, so 2011, that was a up and down year for me. 2012 was okay for running. 13, 14, you know, I ended up doing a lot of like half marathons during this time, doing a lot of races in general. So, you know, I had a lot of like great races in between then and there. You know, I was hitting PRs, and I was really enjoying running. I started working at a running store, and then came along November 2014. And I decided to do the Richmond Half Marathon with the guy I was dating at the time. He was a lot faster than me, so we did not run it together, but we both went down there to do the race. So it was perfect weather. I tend to like to run in cooler weather. In the week leading up, I was starting to have like a little bit of foot pain in my left foot, and it definitely felt more like not plantar fasciitis, but like the tendons under my foot were just like kind of tight. So I was like rolling it out with like a lacrosse ball, massage ball, and I thought it was okay. So I went and I did the race. It was perfect weather. Like I said, I like to run when it's a little cooler. And then mid-race, like literally I hit the halfway mark, the timing mat for the halfway mark, and I ended up breaking my foot. I didn't know at the time. All I knew is I was in a heck of a lot of pain, probably top 3 most painful experiences of my life. But I kind of hobbled my way through the rest of the race, and ended up actually setting a PR at that race, but I was clearly out of running commission for a while. went to the doctor a few days later, and they're like, yeah, you broke your 4th metatarsal, so here's a boot, and we'll see you in a month. So I was in a walking boot for a month, another 2 months of no running, so I was out for 3 months solid, and I was back in PT, had a great physical therapist, and literally got back on my feet again and very slowly started running again, and made it my goal, for 2015 to go back to the same race and get over that mental block of injuring myself. I break my foot, and luckily I trained a little bit better and I didn't break my foot during the race, and I ended up with another shiny PR, which was pretty cool. I think I shaved like 3 minutes off my time, which was incredible, and that race still stands as my PR to this day. So, but since then, it has been pretty chaotic. 2016, I started a new job in the running industry. I switched from working at a running store to a running shoe brand, and that job has me on the road a lot, and it's very chaotic trying to train for stuff, and I've been going through some personal things too in school and all this, but so 2016 was kind of a year for running for me, as was last year. And I really started dropping off on the amount of races I've been running, just because I enjoy running but not racing. But this year I'm committed to, I really want to get into better shape. I want to really, I don't think I'll PR, I don't think I'll run that time anytime soon, but I certainly want to try to get within under a certain time. So I'm planning on hopefully doing a half marathon in November or December of this year to do that. So that's sort of like a brief history of my running journey. I started in 2010, really didn't know what I was doing. I was pretty slow to, I got better, I learned more, I became a certified running coach. I did coach for a little bit. And I started to get a little bit faster for me personally. And then now it's just, the past couple of years I've been sitting in this holding pattern, but I'm ready to take the next step and try to get better. So some stats. I have done anything down from the 1 mile distance all the way up to a half marathon. The furthest I've ever ran though is 16 miles. I don't have any plans of doing a marathon right now, maybe in the future. But I really like the half marathon distance. I feel like it's enough to commit to training for, but it's not a total time suck, especially right now with me being in school. I have ran over 10, I think almost over 15 or about 15 half marathons over the years. Been running for 8 years because I basically consider June to be my run anniversary. I got fit for my first pair of running shoes on June 22nd of 2010, so I guess that's what I consider to might be the first day I ran, which technically isn't true, but actually still have my first pair of running shoes. Clearly I don't wear them anymore. I actually don't even wear this brand anymore. But yeah, these are my first pair of running shoes, and they certainly come a very long way since. But yeah, so my running journey is probably very typical like other people, but it's kind of started as a weight loss thing, and it really just sort of became more as a stress reliever. So, and it's opened up a lot of career opportunities for me. I studied musical theater in college and ended up pretty much right out of college working in the running industry, having an internship with a nonprofit that's focused on girls and running, to then working in a running store for 3 years, to then working for my current company as a footwear, in the footwear business for 2.5 years. It's been a really crazy ride, and how much running has impacted my life and probably will for the foreseeable future. I have a lot of goals. Like I mentioned, I really want to do a full marathon. I would love to qualify for Boston. I don't think that's gonna ever happen, but I want to get under a certain time in a half marathon distance. I would also like to get back into triathlons, which I didn't talk about, but it's been certainly 3 years since I've done a tri, or 4 years since I've done a tri. So I really like to get back into that. I really do enjoy swimming, not so much biking, but I enjoy the swimming and the running part. So I like to get back into that and do a full Ironman. So that's my writing story. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and please hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more content posted by me. I'm trying to do about once a week, but you know, like I said, things do shift, priorities shift slightly. I do love YouTube, but I am very focused on my education right now, and of course I'm busy with work, so it's something that I need to get better at, but you know, I am definitely focusing very much on my education right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have the most magical day ever. Bye! Busy few weeks at